All right, it's time. It's Kaldheim time. Yeah, pay with gems. The last deck went well. Another two coma decks in a row. Very unusual. Quite surprising. I feel like I don't want to say anything, but luck will turn around and be bad for me in this one after getting coma twice. Well, the first coma deck didn't do so hot. So Mystic Reflection, I believe, is terrible. Choose target non-legendary creature. Next time, one or more creatures or planeswalkers that enter the battlefield this turn. This turn. Oh, it's an instant. It's not even an enchantment. They enter as copies of the chosen creature for Tell 1. Wow. Okay. Mystic Reflection. Yeah. So we got a Rune of Might here. Just after a cursory glance, it might be the Rune of Might. There's Vega. Not Vega. I'm just checking again on my list. Vega the Watcher. They have like a C plus in its own colors. Fall of the Imposters, like a C plus in its own colors. Yeah, it's pretty much. Rune of Might is the standout best card in this pack. Yep. So I mean, what do you follow up a Rune of Might with? you follow it up with a Rune Crown, I think. What else is in this pack? Battle Shield Warrior. Great Hall is good in its own colors, but that's black-white. It's too early to tell what we are here. Horizon Seeker is another good card, so like they're not very high on Battle Shield Warrior. Only one of them gives it a C plus, the other two give it a C minus. Horizon Seeker, they give a solid C, and then Runed Crown, they give like a C, C plus. So like we already have a Rune and a Rune Crown. It no longer matters what colors we play. Like the Rune Crown makes it so that we can play Rune of Might anywhere. So we saw Battle Shield Warrior. We saw a Horizon Seeker. So like we're seeing some good blue and Amulet, seeing some good white and Bound Gold, some good green. I think, and like I was saying, with the Rune Crown, we don't really care that we can't play Rune of Might when we have the Rune Crown. See, Bound Gold's like a B minus. Struggle for Skemfar's like a C plus B minus. So this might just be a Bound in Gold. I'm not too keen on Graven lore. Let's see, they give it a solid C. So yeah, I would rather play Bound in Gold. The pick, I think it's too early to be picking. Well, I mean, I think Bound in Gold is just better than the pick. Okay, so nothing good in white. There is something nice in green. Skemfar. Skemfar's Shadow Sage is only good if you know you're tribal. Otherwise, let's see. There's an Axgard Cavalry. There's Agar. But I haven't noted any good blue, and I haven't noted any good red. Axgard Cavalry. I think I'm going to take Horizon Seeker. Maybe that's the thing. Okay, so now we're seeing good red and green. We're seeing good green and Struggle. Seeing Tuscary Firewalker in red. Divine Gambit is even playable. Seeing some filler from white, some filler in red, filler in black, dual land. I'm just continuing to try and keep saying all the colors out loud. But this is another struggle for Skemfar we've seen. And it feels like there's another Giants card. It feels like red and green, filler white. It feels like green is kind of open. Mass Vandal. Yeah, they've put Mass Vandal up to a C+. So I'm going to take the Mass Vandal. There's a Glade Walker. What else is here? There's some filler red. The rest of these are pretty lackluster, so I'm gonna keep selecting this green. So there's Iron Verdict or Death Knell Berserkers, definitely playable. Even Recluse is like filler. Elderleaf Mentor is filler, in my opinion. And they give Elderleaf Mentor a D+. Not Vold, they give, I can see minus D+. They give Iron Verdict like a C. I feel like I can pick up these cards whenever. If I'm gonna, I kind of want to go white for the Bound and Gold. Well, here's nothing in green, but there is a nice playable here in Shieldmate. Although they don't think it's nice. They give it like a C minus C. Yeah. What else is here? Nothing. Hoggy Mob is kind of filler. Okay, so the Great Hall Wheel. There's nothing here in the colors I want. I could take a Raider's Carve. I could take a Dwarven. People are picking fast on this table. I could pick Dwarven Reinforcements. Let's just pick up the Carve. It's non-committal. Take a Warhorn Blast here. I'll take Cavalry. Oh, I'll take a Divine Gambit, sure. I don't really care. Okay. So, God of Storytelling is real good. We saw that red was kind of open, but I like my white and green already. Like I have a Struggle, I have a Bound and Gold, an Iron Verdict, Mass Vandal, and Shepherd of the Cosmos. Like Bergie is a B minus. Shepherd is like a B minus C plus. Fearless Liberator is also real good. Although this person rated as a C minus, it's like C plus C or C minus. Oh, weird. So I think I'm just going to take the Shepherd here, stay on color. Oof. So here's the red. So here, obviously, if I had gone red at some point, Demon Bolt would be good, but I think like I just have some really good green and white stuff. And I hate to take a Battlefield Raptor over Demon Bolt. Can I splash Demon Bolt? Should I try to splash Demon Bolt? I have a Horizon Seeker. I don't know what the answer to this question is. My safe play is Raptor. The speculative pick is Demon Bolt. Let's just be speculative a bit here. Rootless U, I don't have anything to get with it. Maybe I pick up a Lindworm. It's, early into pack 2. I'm picking it over a Story Seeker, though. I think I just select the Story Seeker. Here's another Bound and Gold. I'll take it. It does feel like white's somewhat open. Here's another Rootless U. And this one I think I will speculate on. I'm picking it over what? A Goldmaw Champion? So it's either King Harold's Revenge or Despair Sentinel. I could take Despair Sentinel for Splashing Demon Bolt. I mean, I don't think either of those picks terribly matter. I guess I'll take the Braggart over the Broken Wings. I have a Struggle, I have Divine Gambit, I have 2 Bound Golds, and I have an Iron Verdict even. So, like, the whole reason I'm white-green right now, strangely enough, is for the removal. Which means maybe I don't have to splash Demon Bolt. But, like, an somewhat inferior removal in Broken Wings is not very tempting. I'm just making sure these sagas are nothing special. Yeah, they're some of the worst sagas. I'll take another Story Seeker. I don't think I'd play 2 Warren Horde Blasts in this deck unless I got a whole lot more stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking not the. I don't need to stretch and splash Demon Bolt. Right now, I'm kind of missing. I want to say bombs. Like, this is a high-powered format, and I don't have. Well, the Rootless U wield anyway. I'm kind of missing bombs, so it's just a bit. Like my best cards in terms of power. Let's see, Arachnoform. I don't have anything that cares about types, right? But I think I'll take it over the champion just to be like, hey, maybe. Turgid is black. I don't really know how I would splash it, but at the same time, what am I giving up on? I was kind of saying about how I don't have any power. I don't have anything that really triggers Turgid, and I probably wouldn't play the God side, I'd play the Artifact side. Otherwise, it's like, what, 3rd Fruitless U, or Codespell Cleric, or Mammoth Growth, or a different splash for Binding of the Old Gods? Yeah, I think it's just Turgid. Gosh, Kosama as well. But, oh man, So, it's either Packmate or Lindworm. The reason why, like, this is even close is because I have 2 Rootless U's. I think Packmate is still better. I know it might make the Rootless U's unplayable in the end. So, Realm Walker. Do I have creature types? I have 6 warriors and 5 dwarves, and I'm taking it over what? Doomscar. Like, Spirit of the Elder Guard's good, but not in my deck. I have no snow. So, like, yeah, I'm taking it over a Doomscar Oracle. Sure. Rally the ranks, sure, again. So it looks like Arachnoform is suddenly becoming better. I'm taking this over, let's see, this is the green-black. This is Shapeshifter. Sure. It's a green-blue duel. Here's a Ravenous Lindworm for the Rootless use. Yep. I can take Packmate or Mass Vandal. Wow, can't believe a packmate's pick 6. That means like 5 other people saw this packmate and were like, I'm not in green, or something like that. Or there was another good green card. I really want to take the Vandal because I suddenly have like Realm Walker and Rally. But I think the packmate's still good. I can take this Rune of Speed and kind of summon it with the Rune Crown. Maybe. I mean, am I begging for creatures? No, I have 18. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Rune of Speed over the Goldmaw Champion. The Arctic Tree Line, I think, is just the pick here. It makes everything else easier to splash. There's also a case for the Slumber Mound. Definitely don't need a third Rootless U. I'm only going to play one of them because I only have one Ravenous Lindworm. But I'm not going to play anything else from this pack, and this is an uncommon, so... Oh, this first Ravenous Lindworm actually wheeled. Alrighty then. I guess Doomscar Oracle. I mean, Arachnoform. I don't know. Skull Raid. Who cares? I don't think I'll play that. But I'll put it into consideration, just in case. Okay, so... I feel like green-white, either I forced it open, or it was open. I don't need these mountains. 8, 7. Did not replace those lands. It did not. So, okay, I've actually got to put a pause here. Okay. So yeah, I think during that draft there was definitely an argument to like abandon either that red was definitely another contender for colors. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to play 2 Rootless U's, even though I have 2 Lindworms. I don't going to play 2 Warhorn Blasts. Let's see. These are Warriors for Rally the Ranks and Horizon Seeker. Normally Braggarts would be on the cutting block, but I think my type synergies are a bit too strong. Raider's Carve is cuttable. These lands, Turgid is cuttable. King Harold's Revenge, I think, is real cuttable. Goldmaw Champion's cuttable. Doomscar Oracle is cuttable. Let's get the lands up to... I think with 2 Lindworms, I have to be 17 lands. So let's just make it 17 lands so that the card count is somewhat correct. Or indicative of what it's going to actually be. And I think Despair Sentinel is cuttable. Down here we have our Arachnoforms are cuttable. The Rune of Speed is cuttable. And let's see, so 6 Warriors, 3 Shapeshifters. That's 9 cards that Rally the Ranks can hit, and essentially 8 cards that Realm Walker could potentially hit. So I think it's worth it to keep in Rally the Ranks. That makes me want to keep Goldmaw Champion a bit more. 19 creatures right now. So Yeah. And I have nothing that makes me actually go wide. Like, I don't have anything that summons other token creatures, right? Shieldmate Story. Which is why, like, red and white was certainly, might have been a good option because there was Dwarven reinforcements running around at a certain point in that draft that would work well with with a Warhorn Blast and a Rally the Ranks. Um, but yeah, only Shieldmate kind of, but not really. Like it just replaces itself. Cosmos kind of goes wide. Okay, so I think for that reason, King's Herald Revenge goes. I have 9 cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to have some tough cuts here then. It's like the lower I cut my warriors, the worse other things would come. So I think I got my power in Ravenous Lindworm. So I don't need to worry about the splashing stuff. Gonna cut Raider's Carve. I'm definitely gonna cut an Arachnoform. The thing about Arachnoform is that it's every creature type which interacts with Rally the Ranks. But yeah, but I think it's just cut. So 17 lands, really? Yeah, I didn't pick up a pick. Like my weakest cards are probably like the Goldmaw Champion and like an Axe Guard Braggart. What's my creature count out now? 16. I have removal in Divine Gambit, Bound in Gold, an Iron Verdict, a Battle for Skemfar. I could see getting rid of the Warhorn Blast. Again, this deck doesn't go wide at all. It's more of a win the mid game with like Lindworms and Rootless U. Maybe a flyer with Cosmos or control out their creatures. Or trample over their creatures with Rune of Might on the Rune Crown. So one more cut. Oh yeah, let's shape up these lands. That is 13, 14. Why is this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to happen. Oh, Arena. It's like every time. It seems like Arena's bugging out. I'm gonna put a pause here. Okay. So, one more cut. Yeah. I was just making sure that my list from the guys, they're rating Turgid as like a B and a B plus. Like if she was like an A minus or above, I'd be like, oh, I guess I should need to splash her. But she's in the B range, and it seems like I didn't hear anything from Ben Stark being ecstatic about that card either. I think Turgid works best in a black where you're not splashing her, so you can trigger when you have like Skull Raids and the sack 2 creatures, that kind of all that stuff. So the final cut from here, the weakest cards are like the Braggart, the Goldmaw Champion, maybe the Divine Gambit. Like with 2 bounding golds, maybe like the Divine Gambit is too much of a risk. Because like I have Realm Walker and Rally. I have 2 cards that care about creature types. Six warriors, still 5 dwarves, but the dwarves are like, most of my dwarves are warriors. So if I look at dwarf, yeah, if 3 of my dwarves are warriors and the other 2 are just clerics, so like playing a dwarf warrior means that both the remaining count of dwarfs and warriors in my deck went down by 1. So in order to, if I ever want to like declare Rally the Ranks or her Realm Walker as just dwarf, I would have to play 2 non-dwarf warriors. I mean, my deck isn't the most consistent when it comes to creature types. Huh, this guy's a warrior. Or this girl. Lady. Whatever. I would have thought she would have been a cleric because she revived someone. But, oh. Maybe I'm, like, valuing Rally the Ranks a bit too highly or whatever. Because if this was, like, a wider deck as green-white traditionally is... Hold on. I don't know, it has, what does that count as? 9 targets in a 40 card deck? That's like almost 1 in 4. If I take out the, it's like, the problem is that it's not just 1 card that has those targets, it's 2, with Realm Walker and Rally the Ranks. Yeah, I think I just take out Divine Gambit. It's probably wrong. Alright, we'll just call this Rally the Realm or whatever. Alliteration is fun. I think this deck is... okay. Divine Gambit's any permanent, though. Any permanent. Well, not any permanent. Artifact, creature, enchantment. So anything but a planeswalker or a land, essentially. I wish this cut was easier. Maybe, like, it's really easy. But at the same time, for me, it doesn't feel that easy. I have Bound and Golds to deal with equipment. So... let's go. Yeah, deck building is probably... I'm feeling like right now the construction portion of the draft experience is where I'm the weakest in. Relative to myself, and the 2 other areas being drafting and playing. This is a keep. So in this instance, we can think of, in the rest of the game, we can think of like the Goldmaw Champion as being a Divine Gambit and how that would work for this deck, essentially. And right now it seems more in this instance, it seems better that we have a champion here. What color did they declare this? Green and then green? Oh no, is it a troll? Please don't tell me it's the troll. White. Okay. Boreal Outrider. So this doesn't... Yeah, activated abilities. And this is a triggered ability. They already had snow, so I'm just like... Don't want them to gain +1/+1 counters. Okay, there's a braggart. So I can bound and gold this braggart and keep attacking. It's bad that I'm drawing lands. 5 without like a Lindworm or a Rootless Yew in hand. Yeah. I don't think I bound and gold this yet. I think I see if he trades it for Packmate. He does not. If he attacks with it, I'm just going to take it, and then I'll just bound and gold it later. Maybe they'll play a worse threat. I don't know. Feels kind of bad not using this removal, but at the same time it's the only removal in my hand, so I feel like... And they have... Okay. No blocks. Wow. Give something for 1 mana like a raptor. Codespell Cleric. It's gonna go on yourself or the braggart. Yourself. So here I can play the Lindworm, but I think I'm just gonna play this. Okay. Yep. Bound and Golding, they're 5/5. Is pretty good. 5/5 trample. That can grow. So it looked like it was the right call to hold off on Bound and Gold because they invested a few more resources onto the Saxguard Braggart, but of course they could have a Mass Vandal of their own. And then there's a bit of an uh-oh. So Packmate can only be blocked by the Maja and the token. I have a Story Seeker in the graveyard. So this is an interesting question. I could either summon the Shepherd and present a flying threat, or I can summon the Ravenous Lindworm to try to control the ground. They're probably going to summon another 2/2 creature and then something else. I haven't presented anything that has removal, so if they do have removal, I want it to be used on the Lindworm. I'll keep that land for I don't know what. And their Bredegard Stronghold does mean that they can come back, so I do have to pressure them a bit into potentially cracking it early. What? Is it Mass Vandal time? That's Broken Wings time. So if they attack with the Axeguard Braggart, I have to double block it. Because they can pump it up to a 7/7. And then I also just have to hope they don't have anything. So it's interesting that they did not pump it, which means they didn't care about killing the 2/1. Another Rune of Might. So I can declare Wolf of all things, or I can just declare Warrior and attack with both of them. It's a bit too bad that I have to foretell this card, but such is the way of things. I wonder if I just was supposed to attack with the shield mate there. They did have a troll. Oh my gosh. So I have lost this game. That was an excellent play. Bredegard's Stronghold simply means that I cannot race them. They would outrace me. They'll go to attack with a 6/6 troll. They're going to bring back 6, 7, 8, 9 life. Maybe I can do something about it, but they have to either kill the flyer or crack Bredegard's Stronghold here. Yeah, the unfortunate turn was last turn where I couldn't rally the ranks and Shepherd. And at the time I was playing it, I was thinking, is this correct? And it looks like it was not correct. I needed to force them to crack Bredegard's Stronghold there. And then. Yep. Yep. Draw less trample. Oh my gosh. So I still have like a bound in gold. Nope. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I should have gone for, I guess, the more lethal play there. Oh. Storage is refreshed. Oh man, I'm eventually going to get all these sleeves. green-white, we have the God or Rune of Sustenance. Well, Rune of Sustenance has been very nice to me whenever I get it, so. Okay, let's resume. Yeah. Although if they had struggle, my flyer was always going to be dead. Struggle was what they had foretold. And they would have been able to use Maja to bring down my 3/3 flyer anyway. So, like, it's hard to tell what play was correct there. I can keep this. It's fine. It's fine. Narrator. It was not fine. Okay. So one more Snowland and they can just kill Horizon Seeker. Do I care about that? I don't think I want to let one mana float like that. So if they have another mana, they can kill Horizon Seeker. Looks like they do not. Okay, so what I'm going to do this turn is I'm not going to struggle away the priest. I am going to attack and boast. I'll get a plains. And I'm doing this before the pack rate to just slightly increase my chance of drawing non-land. Although ideally I should have not, you know what I mean. So they have left up all their mana. That's cool. That's cool. So this turn I am either going to boast Realm Walker or play Rootless You. So and because they've left up all of their mana, let's see. I'm going to play Realm Walker. And then I have a dwarf in my hand and a non-dwarf warrior in play, so the pick is still warrior. How lucky. I didn't even think that would happen. So the Guardian Gladewalker could protect itself from the priest, but I don't care. Let's put it on. I guess the Horizon Seeker. Sure. Yeah. I was pretty sure they were going to play removal on something. So they can use their 0/4 to take out my 0/1 if they want to, but I don't care. So here I can Bound and Gold that Outrider, or I can Ravenous Lindworm. I think I would... Oh. I have Mass Vandal, but Mass Vandal doesn't have any targets right now. I think I play Ravenous Lindworm to start. Let's see. Do they have how much? They only have the one swamp. So let's see if they have more removal. They have their own struggle. If this trade happens, I'm okay with it. Cool. Because again, I have Rootless U. Okay. Okay. So this is like a perfect Mass Vandal target. I'm just gonna. I don't have any way of getting things back from my graveyard, so. And I can Story Seeker, and I'm gonna foretell this struggle because I have lots of things to do with my mana, and no attacks. So the priest can now tap and take care of like a 2/2. Okay, he decides not to. So I'm going to struggle away this spirit before it grows. See the Rune Crown. Yeah, I'm going to use the Rune Crown and put it on the Story Seeker. And make the priest not be able to kill anything good still. Do. Okay, that's 3 Snowlands. Still can't really deal with the 4/4. Okay, goodbye Rune Crown. Now he can kill the Story Seeker if he wants to. Okay, now I can just choose Warrior. Yep. Alrighty then. And the whole reason I was willing to take that trade for the 6/6 and their injured 6/6 was because I had the Rootless U in hand, which meant that I was going to draw another 6/6 later. I honestly don't know why they attacked with it. I mean, why would I ever not keep? I don't understand. What do you mean this is a bad keep? So I'm not going to play Rally the Ranks to buff no creatures. Well, they got 2 lands, but they also got my Realm Walker. So... Oh gosh, they got Jorn. Great. Gee, I wonder which 2 creatures they're going to choose. I think it's going to be the Goldmaw Champion. So they can cast spells with snow as any mana. Yep, they're going to play both of them. They're both real good. Okay, so I have nothing to do with 3 mana, except Iron Verdict or Guardian Gladewalker. That doesn't seem worth it when they have stuff. Oh gosh, they can even play the staff side and get Graven Lore. That's pretty good. Wizard. Okay, well, Mass Vandal did not come in time. So I will trade this Packmate for the Realm Walker. Actually, I can kill it with Struggle, but I need Struggle in case they summon Jorn, because Jorn untaps itself. He is a snow permanent, so he will untap himself. So I don't know if Iron Verdict can actually kill him. If you want to block with Realm Walker, they can. Yeah. I just don't know how many wizards they have. So now they can play Jorn. And they have to play on this turn. So they can either choose the creature side or the staff side. I'm hoping they choose the creature side. Fancy. Hey, this is real good for me that they're tapped out here. Okay, so I have to kill Jorn here. Goodbye, Jorn. And then no attacks. I guess I could have attacked with the 3/3, and if they blocked with Jorn, I'd be ecstatic. Okay, I get rid of Forest. And I get rid of, I think, Story Seeker. Yeah, no blocks. Okay, they don't have any spell lands, so I'm not as concerned about stuff. So it's not pausing on my turn or on their turn. The Ravenous Lindworm will eventually kill them. So I'd rather keep one creature back for any kind of and then I will present lethal. So I can put, yeah, I'm going to put the Rune of Might on the Lindworm. I put Rune of Might on the... Let's see, they can kill the Horizon Seeker. That's fine. And then let's see. There was something like about Ben Stark was saying boasts and stuff, but do I want to boast? Yes, I'll boast. It's fine. But I wanted to do that to draw a card, and like if I draw Rune Crown again, I want Rune of Might already used. That way, I'm basically drawing 2 cards with it. Like I think it's one of the times where like you have lethal in the opponent, and you're forcing the opponent has to do something, but it's like pretty sure they have something because they foretold it. So this is actually a keep. It's not a great keep, but I have stuff to do with my mana. There are 9 green sources. So I mean, it's not like if I was flooded on. Okay, I'm gonna foretell the struggle because that makes it even cheaper. Goes from a total of 4 to 3. Okay. So I don't have a creature in my graveyard to destroy the Elven Bow or Goldvein Pick. I could struggle away that 2/3. That's not very exciting. So I think instead I will play the Packmate. Wow. So here I'm going to double block this. Okay. I can't Rune of Might and struggle. I can Rune of Might, attack with the Packmate, and then destroy the... is that a good... destroy the pick? I don't have my equipment. I could also bound and gold the token. Alright, cool. And now next turn, I can Mass Vandal away the pick. I can also Bound and Gold this Kennel Master. I want to play Realm Walker, but I wouldn't be able to attack. Do I Bound and Gold the Kennel Master and Mass Vandal the pick, or do I just play Realm Walker? I think I Bound and Gold this Kennel Master. I could have not Bound and Gold and just used the Goldmaw Champion to deal with it, I guess. And no, that was better. I think it was better to use the Warrior still. I think it was better to use. I could have also have attacked there, maybe I should have, but they're at 18. And then I saw the rally the ranks and I was like, this could be good. It didn't. Oh, they don't have any creatures in the graveyard. So this is 6 damage. I was going to say no blocks. So the next question is if I struggle away the Mask Vandal. Don't think so. I've seen nothing but the mighty Finn. Oh, I'm being killed by planes. So they have 2/5. Let's see. I can get rid of. I can kill a blocker. I'm getting a forest next turn for the Lindworm. I can kill a blocker, tap another one. Yep. Alrighty. Yeah, I think there was like couple mistakes in there, but the mistakes, I think at least one of them somehow might have ended up to me winning there. Yeah. When I watch that, it'll be interesting to review it and see exactly what was happening in that game. Yes, it was the Carfell Kennelmaster where I could have just... Yeah, that was a mistake. When I could have just tapped it and attacked with both. That's what I should have done, and just held on to Bound and Gold. Yeah, that was a mistake, definitely. This is a keep. Getting Mass Vandal here is not what I want. It sucks. But I don't think I don't play him. If that doesn't make sense in grammatically professional English, but it's definitely what I do though. And then I rally the ranks for warrior and attack. Depending on what they play. Obviously if they play like a freaking 3-2 or something. Now they play equipment. A single code spell cleric. So conundrum, I don't have lands. I can either rally the ranks like I was going to. I can bound and gold the Raven Wings. I have 2 bound and golds. I can foretell Packmate. I think I just bind and gold these wings. Because I will lose to flying. That is how I will lose. Alright, so it's all on my opponent. What they're going to do. It's going to really determine, well, you have another flyer. How nice for you. So I can either foretell Packmate or I can foretell Struggle. If I foretell Struggle, I actually have a turn if I don't draw land where it's Struggle and then rally the ranks. So I know I should be doing Packmate to draw towards lands. And I'm at 20, so maybe I should have done Packmate. Where's that rock? Oh no. Okay, definitely struggle away. Well, they can crack Axguard Armory and potentially draw more stuffs. Okay. This gets crewed by 1. So again, I can foretell the Packmate, but this is getting kind of dicey here. Really? That 1 mana was a freaking Demon Bolt. Alright. I should have called that. I thought they were pausing because of the Funeral Longboat's activated abilities. Oh, Spectral Steel and a Dwarven Warhammer. That's real good. Yeah, I do think that trying to foretell the packmate there would have just been too slow. So they're going to come at me with 4 attack, well, 5 attackers. Yeah, this is just, it's just over. I got stuck on 3, and then that just, it turned out Bound and Gold, the flying equipment. Why is this store like this again? I already purchased stuff from you, store. Look, see? There's nothing new here, store. Why did you have a little gold light? Let's see. Probably Bind and Gold on the wings was incorrect. Yeah. Even though it would have allowed them to attack every turn, oh gosh, I just wouldn't have had any way of bringing it down though. Like once it got equipped, I would then have to fight it, and then Bound and Gold the wings. It's just a whole thing. Looks like I am have a very similar hand as to last time. Actually, this is a worse hand now that I look at it. But if I can just draw 1 land, I can play Rune Crown, draw a card. They seem to be stuck on green themselves, so. So I wouldn't be surprised if they attack and just let it die to get their color. Red. And then the Mass Vandal dies. Nice. Alright, I guess my deck wants to go out like this. 2 mana screw games in a row. Alright, deck. It's your choice. I can't stop you. I cannot stop you. No blocks, because I have the Iron Verdict. So I can play the Rune Crown here. But I'm taking 5 a turn, taking 9 a turn. So while I did draw the land, and I want to use my mana efficiently, I think I just have to play the Iron Verdict. Realm Walker doesn't make sense here. It's either Horizon Sea. Well, I guess Realm Walker does make sense in that I can double block a 4/4. I can double block a lot of things, and one of them would survive. I can Bound and Gold the 4/4. Right now, I'm just kind of dying to stuff. Just kind of dying. The Mass Vandal killing my Mass Vandal and the thing was real bad. Real bad. Alright. Yeah. You have a trick on top of that? Cool. Alright. I live at 1 HP. No, I know what I'm drawing, so. Alright, well, unfortunate that the last two losses of the deck just kind of, the deck decided that it wanted to die. But you know, that's what happens. Sometimes your deck just decides it wants to die, and that's magic. Still got 3 wins with a deck that I thought was alright. So that's fair. Like it has a lot of, like I was saying when I was making it, it has a lot of nice cards. It just doesn't have any amazing cards or even great cards. Like the best card in the whole deck is like the Rune of Might and Rune Crown. That's weird. But yeah, it was still a nice deck. Didn't really do anything fancy. It just, you know, was there. I didn't even kill enough creatures. The only interesting cards I think I saw was like Turgid. Of course, it's a rare, so I can't really expect to have good or even great rares every time. I got spoiled after having Coma and Vorinclex and even the Icebreaker Kraken, slightly a meme card. That's my first In Search of Greatness. I've seen a lot of these in drafting. They table, but I never pick one up. All right, that's it.